Greetings, I'm Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with Pillar Lives Tabletop Games. Today's episode, what I've been waiting for last 5 freaking months. Jisogi, Anime Studio Tycoon. Both games get the most points, and to do that, you're going to have to release anime. And getting there is going to take a journey. Part of the setup, there will be some initial anime trends, fading, active, upcoming. There will be some initial opportunities to get when you release an anime. You will have your studio. You'll start with an amount of money based on whether you're first or somewhere else in the turn order. You have a space to the side of the board for your anime script tokens. You have the anime you're actually making in these slots. Your animation progress, which can go up to 6 as long as you've got all your script figured out. You got a spot for merchandise deals at the bottom. You have to get them and then activate them, and that gives you more money to work with. And finally, you track points on the right side of the board there. Okay. You'll have your studio. You'll have your representative tokens attached to a card. Your starting staff is coming from kind of a bad place of the previous Anime Studio meltdown. So everybody starts out dead inside. They're so dead, in fact, they're wearing their robes right over left. Anyway, you'll put a token on each of them. You'll shuffle the trends and put out those 3. Shuffle the opportunities, put out those. Shuffle the tokens for setting, plot, and twist. Put out 3 of each. You'll prepare the board with the leverage lock tokens off to the side here. You'll prepare the net cards off to the side. You'll shuffle the networking cards. You'll shuffle each color of, or each type of Genki staff and put the top card face up. And starting with first player, will take the first turn. On your turn, you take a token representing your worker and put it in a spot that they can go to. Only producers can go to the red locations. Only artists can go to the green locations. Only writers can go to the blue locations. Any of them can go to strategize. And your director can go to any location. The first worker to go to a location does not require any extra cost. In a 2 to 3 player game, anyone placing their worker on top of that is going to have to pay an extra 1. A third token would be +2. In a 4-player game, this takes a little bit longer to hit the pay extra. So that by the third token will pay 1 money, and the fourth token will pay plus another 2. If you ever need to pay money and you can't do it, you have to take debt. It accumulates interest every round, but it gets you 7 money to work with. So let's take a look at the spaces here. Research. You get to flip 3 tokens up and take one of them into your script storage. Right? Flip 1 up and get 2. Do they all have to come from one spot? from any of the piles. Okay, yeah. Could do different ones or all one. Staffing lets you pay money to improve your staff by adding an entirely new member to your team, or promoting staff you already have to that Genki staff. If you've not activated the staff you're promoting, you can still use them. Otherwise, adding more staff, they don't get the token until the next round. You're limited to 6 staff because you'll have 6 tokens to work with. Networking lets you draw 2 cards. These networking cards have triggers of what actions they'll trigger off of. You're limited to playing one of these cards per action. So let's say we did research. We could use this and spend money and take script on. Take a script piece and the top networking card of the discard pile. There's various opportunities to expand what you can do for a moment. Here, animate. So you can only animate based on what you've committed to your script. You might have some stuff off to the side, and as a free action you can commit to making a certain kind of anime. And you can have your animation level go up to that many pieces at most. As soon as you have your 3rd piece, that maximum becomes 6. Finally, or not finally, outsource lets you get money. And finally, strategize lets you spend 2 money and take a leverage. You can either get or activate one you already have, a merchandise deal. When you get a merchandise, it goes in your inventory. If you're getting another one, you activate the one you have and it fills in that spot down there. The rightmost occupied spot will give you the bonus during upkeep. You can take the first player marker and 4 money. You can get hype reduced by the number of dead inside staff you have. Or you can promote one of your dead inside staff. Should point out whenever you promote, you'll flip over the card behind it. But also, any cards that are on the top of the decks at the end of the turn or end of the round are going to get cycled to the bottom. Anyway, players will take turns placing their tokens and doing stuff. Oh yeah, you'll notice that on all of these, there's a box to the right. If you are using a Genki staff, you will get that bonus in addition to your regular action. A little bit more motivated, so a little bit better capability there. So let's take a look at how things might actually work out here. Let's say I had to look at some stuff. Twist, a plot, a setting, and I'm going to take one of them. We'll take Modern Warfare. And let's say, provided nothing gets messed with, send in the director, go do some writing. We'll go ahead and add another twist to the pile here. And take 2. Let me take the trained for many years as a martial artist twist and the plot of Transport to a Magical World. Let's find a way to adapt the new life. So with all those, I can make the decision to commit to the making that anime. You're limited to 5 script pieces in your script storage. I'll turn that down. And with that set up, now I can start building up my animation however I want. You have to have at least a completed script and at least 1 point of animation to even release it, but you want to try to get it up a little bit further. Another thing you're looking at assembling your anime is the elements that make it up. By taking 2 action and 1 fantasy, that sets up for power fantasy perfectly. Even if you only match 1 thing, you can still get some popularity that way. If you make an anime that matches none of them, it'll get its own fandom in its own way. But anyway, and let's say I end up sending the producer to spend money and promote somebody. Like, let's say, Slow Starter. But yeah, well, the actual thing will be alternating, but this is just for like demonstration purposes. At the end of the round, you know what? Let's go ahead and actually do it proper here, because you know what deserves to be done. Let's say I go to do the research, but then they go to do the writing. And now when I go to do the writing, I have to spend money instead, in addition to doing the action. You're going to be stepping on each other's toes quite a bit. But let's go back to having that anyway. After everyone's used up all their staff, and you do have the option to not use your staff and just say I'm done for the round. It'll go to the release phase, starting with the first player. What they'll do is they'll check based on genre matches. So there's 3. And I'll look at animation level. So there's 1. 3 times 1 is 3. They'll have the bonus of being the first one to release that anime of that genre, of that trend. So add another 4, so 7. And because it's in the active trend slot, it gets another 3 popularity. Something you might also have in the process is hype. Hype can be spent 1 for 1 for popularity when you release your anime. You can use hype as money, or you can spend 4 hype to get merchandise or activate merchandise. But everything here is 10 popularity, that gets me 4 money and 2 points. If my opponent going second was also going to release that, they're not going to get this bonus. This stays off until a new anime comes up. If you release a cult anime, you're considered to have 4 genre matches. And hopefully you've got the art and animation to back that up. It's entirely possible that you decide not to release an anime. It's going to hurt, but sometimes taking the time to build up the quality might be what helps. So let's say we don't. Let's say we hold back so we can actually build up our animation level. We're not going to have money. We don't have a lot of money to work with. But if it means getting the animation better, then cool. Once the first player's had a chance to release an anime, second player, then third, and last. And then once everyone's had a chance to release, everything moves. So yeah. The trend in this slot is gets you a hype bonus because it's the new thing, people are going to get excited. Active trend gets popularity, it's established, people love it. And then the fading trend gets you money, it's nostalgia, people are willing to pay for nostalgia. The new trend will then get the 4 popularity token. I'm the first person who makes that one. And then there's the upkeep phase. Oh. When you release, you also check opportunities. You can fulfill one of them. So, if you manage to get to 20 popularity or 6 art, 6 animation level, or have released 4 at the end of the game, you get the points up here and the points on the card itself. But anyway, upkeep phase. If you have any merchandise, you get the reward of the rightmost one. Multiples of 3 money, and then starting with the second bit of merchandise, bonus points. 1, 2, and 3. If you have any deck cards, you may pay them off. If you don't, any deck cards you currently have will gain interest. And that makes it 1 harder to pay it back. It's already going to be 8 to pay it back, and now it's going to be 9. At the end of the game, any unpaid deck cards are -2 off your score. Pay salaries. Each of your dead inside people are worth 1, or cost 1 each. All your Genki staff are 2 each. And again, if you don't have enough, you're going to have to take on debt. Which is what I have to do. So I'll have 6 and change after taking on debt. Cover all studio action tokens. Refresh the Genki staff pool. These will go to the bottom. And all will get replaced. Reset the lock tokens. Anything that was taken last turn gets cleared. And then flip the leftmost card face up. After the turn, after the last card is flipped up, is the last turn of the game. You'll do the, after the last release, you'll do the upkeep up to your merchandise, paying debt, and then paying salaries. and that's basically it. Final points. Again, every remaining deck card reduces it by 2. If you ever gain merchandise while you're maxed out, you just get a bonus point. And if you already maxed out at 29 points, you get money instead. Highest points wins with money is the tiebreaker. And there's no further tiebreaker after that. What else is there? Oh yeah, when you do release an anime, you get to hold on to the tokens. It's been done. No one else is doing that again. Yeah, trying to coordinate your actions so that you're not having to spend a whole lot of money um, falling behind other people as they're doing the same actions is tricky. Getting to the point where you can release a solidly animated work in a single turn is also a challenge. Improving your staff is good, but you have to be able to afford them. And also trying to anticipate what might come out of this is a challenge of its own. So, what do I like about this game? First off, anime. Anime, great. Love anime. But this is also just cutting into the heart of just how brutal the anime world can be. It's like money is always a worry. That is not an if, it's a when. You really need to have the kind of people who care about the work being done to really do things better. But they are not cheap. You have to pay your highly capable people what they're worth just to get things just to get any kind of progress. Merchandise, you just can't ignore that need to get some extra money somehow, and merchandise is that quick, surefire thing to help out. But you have to be releasing anime to be making the most of it. It's gotta be tied to something. I do like all the various setting, plot, twist stuff, because some of the combinations are pretty interesting. It almost becomes a game of, wait, is this an actual anime? We got modern warfare, transport to a magical world, find a way to adapt to the new life, and train for many years as a martial artist. It's a pretty wild combination there. Fantasy, martial artist, modern warfare. I'm not sure what the ideal strategy is for this game. Sure, you could potentially release an anime every round by just getting the stuff to do it. But sometimes quality might be better than quantity. Same thing goes with staff. Do you want to have more people, or do you want to make better the people you already have? The game also includes like a very narrative approach of the pitch room. representing a kind of creative meeting. You still use the trend cards, the script parts, but now you use your tokens as what if ideas. It's kind of interesting. There's also a solo mode, which I'll probably be figuring that out too. But yeah, I played this game last year, and when I heard they were doing another Kickstarter run of this, I was on that as soon as I had the money. And it just came in while I was out playing at the game store, so yay. Tokens are alright. I remember the guy's version of this with like more tokens. Instead, this is just a tracker, which is fine. But yeah, it's a fairly quick moving game. The idea that multiple people can come here to any space, but it just costs money due to the high demand. It's an interesting strategic part. Being able to improve the spaces by sending better people to do it is another interesting idea. These absolute bits of chaos potentially get more stuff helps to shake up the game. The fact that trends aren't always going to last feels very real. That you have to be the first one on it to nail the popularity feels pretty real too. But yeah, it's cool. I think one of the game has a couple of suggestions regarding debt though. That maybe for some groups that aren't comfortable with the concept of debt or feel overwhelmed, the interest doesn't increase and the payback's always 8. Alternatively, you have to pay one per. Is the despair variant where you pay one money per debt card, same same as a salary. When you pay a salary to your staff, to make it even harder. One of the optional rules for the setup is to start everyone with a debt card, but no actual money from it. Yeah, it's very cool, very stylized. The shiny trends are nice, but it also feels very real. Dealing with debt, dealing with less than motivated staff, needing to invest money in better people. Familiar ideas, but combined in a curious way. Yeah. Jisogi Animation Tycoon. We'll see if they do another Kickstarter run for it. Hopefully, it's available to people who want to play it, because it is a solid game. Thanks very much for watching. It's Pill Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator. See you next time.